Good evening and welcome to another episode of Ghana Women Awards Diaries. Here on the show, we celebrate women who are excelling in various fields of endeavor. They are trying hard to make a mark and an impact in every corner they find themselves. And that's why we find it and deem it fit to celebrate them on this show while we prepare for the big one, that big event come May. Today on the show, it's going to be interesting because we have a double dose for you. Two outstanding women from two different fields are going to be profiled and shown you today on the show. My name is Nana Kwejuado. The Ghana Women Awards is brought to you by Techno Stop at Nothing Tasty Tom with support from SDGs, Labadi Beach Hotel, 12 Stage, All Media Communications, Airport West Hotel, Dani Kani Limited, Quaffs Place and Fishing Marine, and of course with media support from Graphic Communications Group and TV3. Before we get into the profile officially, let's take a message from the SDG Secretariat.
The SDG Goal 5, which speaks to gender equality, is so central to the achievement of all the Sustainable Development Goals. Here in Ghana, we do know that women are the backbone of our economy, and indeed women are the backbone of our society at large. For this reason, if we are to have any chance of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, then we must fully unleash the potential and the enterprise of women around the noble goals that we've set ourselves. We must work hard to connect to the energies and the enterprise of women to give us a fair chance of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. And importantly, we must step up and scale up investments in women and girls now. It is for this reason that we here in the SDGs Advisory Unit in the Office of the President feel extremely delighted to have this opportunity to be associated with the Ghana Women's Awards, which seeks to recognize, give recognition to an incredible group of women through whose work many in our society's lives are being impacted, through whose work are changing lives in this country and bolstering prospects for our country's achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. We welcome this initiative and indeed invite all partners to join hands with Brain Consult, with TV3 and indeed the Ministry of Gender to ensure that the Ghana Women's Award become a phenomenal success.
We start off with AC Mrs. Phyllis Sekyi-Djan, who is the head GRA Customs Laboratory Service Division. To start off, pick up your phone, call a friend, another friend, to listen to this motivational story. Maybe a glass of water or juice will do. Enjoy.
Phyllis is so particular to detail, and there's one officer you can count on to bring forth analysis which are not only accurate but are very critical and crucial for determination of correct classification and valuation for goods and commodities that pass through these freight terminals.
My name is Phyllis Sekyi-Djan, born Phyllis Wayo, to Mr. E.L. Wayo and Mrs. Christina Maud Wayo, both of blessed memory. I am the head of the Customs Lab and I'm an Assistant Commissioner of the Ghana Revenue Authority. As a child, I grew up in Sekondi Takoradi with my brothers, Reverend Brother Ni Wayo and Commodore Emmanuel Papa Wayo of the Ghana Navy and other relatives. I'm married to a wonderful and hardworking self-made man, Mr. Brantford Sekyi-Djan, and we have 3 beautiful grown children.
My mom is a very disciplined woman, and she instilled that discipline in my siblings and I. I remember when we were in primary school, by the time Everyday English is playing on the radio and you're not downstairs, you would hear her reversing her car out of the house and you start running downstairs, anxious about how you're going to get to school. Of course, we later realized that she was never going to leave us behind, but she was instilling in us the value of being on time and being disciplined.
My basic education was in Sekondi, from where I continued to Fansiman Girls Secondary School to do my O and A level. I proceeded to the University of Ghana to read biochemistry and food science and completed in the year 1987. After my university, I was posted to the Tamale Regional Hospital to do my national service, and I was in the biochemistry department.
I'm a medical doctor by profession, and my mother has had great influence in my career path. As a biochemist, she used to have a lot of scientific books lying around, and when she recognized my interest in science, she supported this with even more books, of course, for children at my level. She was very instrumental in terms of our education. She helped us a lot with our maths and science homework, so it's no surprise that my siblings and I have ended up in scientific fields. My little brother is a civil engineer and my sister is an architect. Daddy was very also instrumental. He helped us a lot with our English homework while Mommy did a lot of the science and maths.
After national service, I proceeded to the Piccadilly Biscuits Limited, where I landed my first job as an assistant production manager. At Piccadilly Biscuits Limited, I got to know that the Customs Excise and Preventive Service was establishing a laboratory, and I'm passionate about analysis, lab work, so I decided to apply. So I put in my application, went through the process, examination, interview, and I was given the job as a scientific officer in the Customs Laboratory in 1990. After being employed into Customs, we were taken through 3 months training, Customs basic training, and we were introduced to all the activities involved in Customs duties. We were then posted or sent to the various collections and stations to experience firsthand how the regimes work. So after going through all these customs regimes and training, we were posted to our various collections, and I was sent to the Tema collection. This time not as an assistant collector, but as a collector. I had been promoted. So as a collector in the Tema port, my duties were to examine all items, food items, chemicals, medicines, and anything which was contentious.
I was privileged enough to have shared the same office with her at the Tema Container Terminal and also at the Africa Coastal Service Terminal. And as the chemist in charge, we were able to correctly determine through her analysis of products that were being cleared the correctness of the values and its classification.
So I was in the Tema collection till I was transferred to the KIA collection in the year 2010. In 2015, I was transferred to the main customs laboratory, and in 2016, I became the second in command to the head of the lab. My duties was to assist the head of the lab in administering the lab and to supervise analysis in the lab. As a chief revenue officer in 2018, the lab had acquired 2 new mobile laboratory vans, which was donated to them by the Netherlands. So I was tasked with 6 members of the lab to go around the country to the customs collections to educate them, first of all, on the role and functions of the lab, and then to make them aware that the lab was available to help in identifying and helping them to classify goods correctly. So in 2019, I was promoted to the assistant commissioner rank, and I became the head of the customs laboratory. As the head of the customs laboratory, I'm in charge of the administrative issues and the day-to-day running of the lab. I also ensure that we achieve our mandate, give scientific opinions to management for decision making, and represent the GRA on scientific and technical committees. customs laboratory is different from every other laboratory because we analyze a wide range of goods in trade for tariff purposes. We normally analyze commodities to identify, classify correctly so that the exact taxes can be applied. Officers in here are working on ethyl alcohol. They are also working on rice and milk powder. Milk powder is also another mandatory item which has to be necessarily forwarded to the lab because of the Chernobyl issue which happened some time ago. So we work on it, and then Ghana Atomic Energy Commission also tests for radioactivity in the milk powder before it is released for home consumption. We worked on food like meat. In meat, we were testing for the fat content at that time. We were working on it on behalf of other sister agencies like the EPA, the Food and Drugs Authority, the Ghana Standards Authority, the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, the National Biosafety Authority. We work with all of them. And we more or less enforce international laws as well as national laws. We tested a lot of soap to determine whether it contained mercury because mercury was banned and it's still banned anyway. We worked on ceramic items, we worked on leather, we worked on textiles. We virtually worked on everything that the customs officer had difficulty with in identifying. And that is our mandate, that is what we do. In 2006, in the Tema collection, I was adjudged the best senior officer laboratory and awarded. I was also awarded in recognition of outstanding contribution towards the national single window in 2016. In 2019, I was also privileged to do a presentation at the 7th European Customs Chemists Seminar on behalf of the GRA Customs Division. This led to my being awarded at the International Customs Day in 2021 by the World Customs Organization. I serve on the board of the National Biosafety Authority, and I'm also a representative of the Ghana Revenue Authority Customs Division on various committees, the National Codex Committee, the Ozone Depleting Substances Committee, and the Pesticide Technical Committee. The Customs Laboratory was also honored under my leadership at the International Customs Day celebrations for their outstanding contribution to the Ghana Revenue Authority during the pandemic.
During the COVID, she led the lab to develop a sanitizer for GRA.
Not only for GRA, but for commercial use during the COVID period.
And they gave some to the Ministry of Finance as well.
This helped the GRA to save about a monthly average of 164,000 Ghana cedis on sanitizers.
And that's a plus for her.
And that is certainly a big plus.
Having worked in customs for over 32 years, there have been a lot of challenges along the line. Going for sensitization programs across the country, you will have to leave your family behind, your children, and all that. And sometimes it is very difficult and it is a big challenge. And now I am the head of the Customs Laboratory. And in this role, as a woman with male counterparts, we know that there are a lot of challenges in this aspect. You are supposed to be supervising and managing them. And we know that in this part, it is difficult for a woman. And we are not deterred to do what we are expected to do. I'm rather daring in my travels and my sightseeing. I remember in one of the visits to Morocco, Agadir specifically, there was the opportunity to get a ride on a camelback. And the group in which I was were men, and nobody dared to do that, but I did. I was eager to, and I jumped onto the camel, and it was a good experience. After I had come down, all the men said, oh, once a woman has been able to do it, they should also be able to do it. So 2 of them tried the experience, and they loved it. So as a girl child, I want you to know, don't just look out for riches, be modest, and love God, because all my achievements is because God has been good to me, and it is by His grace, with the support of my family and friends.
So we join hands with all others to celebrate Phyllis on this auspicious occasion.
I hope you enjoyed that inspiration. Yes. And now let's move on to the sports fraternity, where I'm sure you're also going to get some inspiration from, or motivation for that matter. The Vice President, Christiana Namele Ashley. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Christiana Ashley, a full-time employee of the National Sports Authority, attached to the marketing department, with additional responsibilities with the technical department, i.e. Secretary General of the Scrabble Association of Ghana and Ghana Bodybuilding and Fitness Association. I'm also the Secretary General of the Social and Disability Commission on the African Chess Federation and a member of the Fair Play Commission on the International Chess Federation. I'm also a certified FIDE arbiter, an instructor, and a national chess player. I come from a very large extended family. I have 13 siblings, 9 beautiful ladies, and 4 handsome guys. Unfortunately, I have a small nuclear family. It's just my husband by the name, Nathaniel Neti, and my handsome and beautiful son, Uriel Neti, and myself. I'm hoping to follow my daddy's footsteps, so be expecting more kids. I grew up in Jolu, a suburb in Accra, and I started my school at Golden Age International at Cantonment, then to Bemakam, Kotoka Basic School, Abri Girls, for my secondary education, and then Institute of Professional Studies. I read SIM UK, was a professional course, and then I further went to the London College of Metro to pursue my master's degree in marketing. I used to come to the stadium with my daddy to watch football matches, and we've been watching the World Athletics Championship, Olympic Games, and so from that time, I always watched that on TV, and I fell in love with the sport. So it doubles up with me running for my school as well, Bemakam, Kotoka Basic School. I was a short distance runner, 100 meters, 200, 400. And I even set a record for the 100-meter race. So that really inspired me to come into sports. I love sports so much.
She got injured whilst she was in the sports one day, and she was in a POP, but still she continued to do the sports.
So with my career, basically, what our main objective or mission is to raise revenue for the authority.
I always love to relax at Airport West Hotel anytime I arrive. Talk of hospitality, right from the car park to the room till your stay is over.
Get comfy, relax, and rejuvenate at the only contemporary hotel with a style of comfort deliberately designed to suit the needs of the discerning guest. Airport West Hotel is situated 5 minutes drive from the Kotoka International Airport at Airport West, adjacent FedEx office. Contact and book us on 0244 356535 or 0302 767870. Airport West Hotel, passion for excellence.
when we come to the my additional responsibility with the technical department also, I work closely with the Scrabble and Chess Federation or Association. What do? Our main aim is to promote and develop the game of Scrabble or chess in Ghana and beyond. So everybody has a way of doing his or her own thing. I chose to do a little more of the officiating part of chess, and then alongside do a little play as well.
It's amazing for someone to be an administrator and then also a player of the same game.
When I was attached to chess, I happened to travel with the national team to one Olympiad. They call their World Championship Olympiad in Turkey. That was 2012. And I was acting as the team captain, non-player captain. So I stood by them for like 2 weeks, watch them play the game, watch others. And then I fell so much in love with the play of chess. I got back home and then I started playing professionally. And that same year, I was part of the national team. So we had a trainer who started training us. The following year, like every 2 years, they have their World Chess Championship, which we call the World Chess Olympiad. It happens every 2 years. So from 2012, 2014, I happened to be part of the team which went for the Olympiad in Norway. And since then, I have been part of the team.
She's very hardworking, and she played a very, very important role in getting chess to be selected as one of the sports codes for the African Games.
With chess also, I don't only play, I also dwell into the administrative bits, as in the officiating. We call it the arbitration. I officiate chess matches worldwide, World Cup, African Championship, locally, everywhere. I'm also a trainer. I go to schools to teach chess and all that.
She has done so well. I think she is one of the team that we have been using to promote the sport across many different levels, especially at the school level, where she has been introducing this sport to various students at the primary, the junior high, senior high, and even the universities also taking up this.
And also with the Scrabble and the bodybuilding federations, I am the Secretary General of the two, and my main job is to develop and promote the game of Scrabble and bodybuilding and fitness in the country and beyond.
She's actually specialized in mind games, and just a few women who venture into these areas.
I wasn't surprised that recently, globally, she was invited in India during the Global Chess Association Awards, and where she was given the best administrator for Africa.
I wasn't really surprised she won it because she is very hardworking, very affable, sociable.
So Christy has played a very pivotal role in the development of sports in the country.
I'm doing my best, so help me God. The main challenge I have is in regards to the family is time management. I barely have time for my family, looking at the fact that I have to travel more times for international assignments, for tournaments, for training, conferences, etc. I come back to the office with my marketing aspect also. I also have a target to meet my employees. I have to do a lot to meet that target. With the administration bits, I compete with my other male counterparts who happens to do more in some fields than the female as well. I have to put in more effort in whatever I do. So it makes the job a little bit difficult, but because I have the passion for it, I see those challenges as learning steps. I learn from that, and then I add up to whatever I do to get my results.
She's a hard worker. About 2 months ago, my daughter got married. She did everything up and down.
The 24 hours is not really enough for me. I need more than that.
Her job schedule has been very, very, very tight that even during her marriage, she has to be traveling and organizing sports activities. It's been very, very, very tight.
In respect to my marketing job, my aim is to be at the top, i.e. to be the head of marketing at the NSA. With respect to chess, I'm the vice president now. I'm aiming to be the president herself for Ghana Chess Association, and God willing, go to Africa and the world. My leisure time, I always play chess. Chess is my life, chess is everything I do. I'm so much in love with the game, so any small chance I get, I play chess. It's either I'm playing with my family or I'm playing on my phone. The little advice I have for the girl child is to put in passion in whatever they do. The focus shouldn't be on money, money, money every day. It should be the passion, and always put behind them their challenges and convert it into their strengths and opportunities and work on it.
And it is my prayer that the good Lord will continue to strengthen her to do more than what she's doing in the years ahead of her.
So I wasn't surprised when I heard that Christy is being nominated for an award as one of the outstanding women in sports in Ghana.
I am so happy my mother is winning this award. Mommy, I love you. Bye-bye.
There you have it. That was Madam Christiana Ashley Dex. Now, Kafu is coming up next with the Fun Zone, where she's going to find out the lighter side. How well do they have fun? How well do they ease up based on all of that workload they have upon their heads and their shoulder? Fun Zone is up next.
Welcome to today's Fun Zone with me, Kafu. Today I have two personalities, Madam Christiana and Madam Phyllis. Welcome Madam Phyllis and Madam Christiana to today's Fun Zone. Now let's move on to Madam Phyllis first, and then catch up with Madam Christiana later. Madam Phyllis, can you mention the name of Ghana's Black Stars captain?
Dede Ayew.
Correct answer. To the next question. Who designed the Ghana flag?
Madame Theodosia Oko.
Correct. Good answer. Can you remember any interesting nursery rhyme from your childhood? Please recite it.
Little Bo Peep, she lost her sheep and didn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they will come home wagging their tails behind them.
Welcome, Madam Christiana. Madam Christiana, please name one female musician.
The late Ebony.
Ebony. Can you give a freestyle of any of her songs?
If you break my heart, I go date your father.
To the next question, recite any nursery rhyme that you remember.
A lion has a tail. It has a big head and a very small and a very small.
Madam Christiana is so fun to be with. Do you also have a tail? I bet you don't. On this note, it brings us to the end of today's episode. Hope to see you again. My name is Kafu Kwachijo. Catch you on the flip side.
The Ghana Women Awards 2023 is brought to you by Techno, Stop at Nothing, Tasty Tom, and supported by Labadi Beach Hotel, Airport West Hotel, GH Media Schools, Graphic Communications Group Limited, 12 Stage, All Media Communications, TV3, and SDGs.
Thank you so much, Kafu, for that wonderful job there. My name is Nana Kwejuado. I'd like to say thank you to Optios Creations for this beautiful outfit. You can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, social media, and grab yourself something nice to wear for any occasion. Of course, thank you to all our sponsors. See you next week with another double dose, maybe triple dose. Have a good evening.